Okay, I'll quickly introduce you to our three judges here. Been wanting to do this since we got started. This is Mark Garner, well-known horseman and educator from around the country. And on Mark's immediate right, from Ontario. And this gal has a resume a mile long, Lori Duff. And they're here, Glenn, they're here. Our other judge is Kane Quam. Started 18 colts a day, or rode 18 horses a day for a good part of his career. Okay, Trevor, if you're ready. Trevor Mertes, longtime horseman, trainer, outfitter, guide, well-known in Alberta's horse industry. Let's give Trevor a big hand, and don't forget to shut the gate. And I think you know the drill, Trevor. We have 45 minutes, and we'll start the clock now.
Sounds good. Thank you. Well, after watching the other two guys this morning, they did a great job with their horses. I'm just going to see about moving this one around. We got to draw our horses this morning. I'm not sure if you guys were here or not for that. Still not sure if I chose the right one or if I want the other one, but I'm stuck with this one now, so I'm going to enjoy it. We'll get her mind back on here. There we go. Just want to make sure she's kind of paying attention to me a little bit. These horses haven't been to town before. This is the first time that they've ever been to town off the ranch. So here I'm going to walk away before she did. Come back around. My goal here is to get her to kind of look at me a little bit, find a bit of a release every time she does find me. I want to take her mind away from the crowd, get her back on me if I can. There we go. There. Take a good look at that saddle, girl. You're going to be wearing it, hopefully. Hey. There we go. Hey, girl. Walk away before she chooses to leave. There we go. You're okay. Let's go this way. I'm going to look and disengage her back in. There she got a little lost. We'll just walk back over. Look, who knew a quarter horse could be gated? Hey, there you go. Let's go this way. Maybe try over here. No, that's okay. Walk around here a little bit. I'm trying to stay right now. I'm in front of her front half. So horses have a drive line, and that's right where their wither is. If I want to move a front foot over, I want to stay in the front. There you go. Just let my hand go down as she leaves. Get her kind of used to that as we go. So again, if I'm going to be, we'll talk about this when we start doing a little groundwork here in a minute, but the horse's drive line is at their wither with the western saddle just in front of the saddle horn. English saddle for you English riders, it's where the wither's at. There you go. She kind of gets hooked on for a second or two and lost. If I'm in front of the shoulder, I can turn her into the fence if I choose to. There, get her to stop up, walking by her nose. I'm going to take advantage of this. Put a little light pressure on there. There you go. If I don't need to rope her, I don't need to. I'm not opposed to it. You missed the hole. A lot of my end game, I'm not big on lunging horses. There's only so many footprints a horse gets in their life. I don't want to waste them going in a circle. If she can come in halfway quiet and good, I'm more than happy with that. I don't want to get her ramped up, get her energy going, and then try to bring her back down. Right? She's got enough energy going in here already, being in a new place in town. There you go. Okay. So, the reason I picked this little mare, is this a mare? Gelding? Doug, what am I? Filly. 2022. Only thing that we can be PC about, I guess. So this little filly, reason I picked her, I actually have one of my own Blue Roan brood mares that's out of the same sire as this filly. I've done a number of colt challenges with Rock and Hard over the years, and I've had a couple of those colts out of the same sire. So I am halfway familiar with the breeding and what to expect. Her missing the halter and kind of bumping her nose here is kind of something I found common with this bloodline. So I'm not too surprised at that. So it's kind of neat. You know, you can't ride the papers on horses, but you sure as heck know what to expect, right? The more you breed certain bloodlines, the more those personality traits are within there. So even though you can't ride papers, you actually, in a way, can. Rock and Heart is one of the only quarter horse breeders, in my opinion, that I support and choose to support and buy horses from, because there's not a single bad horse in their herd. These horses all have a great mind. They're hardly handled till they're 3 years old, and they come in off the ranch and they're just as good as ever. Too many horses these days at breeding facilities get shoved into a box stall and expected to be a normal human being. There she's stepping on me. There we go. So I'm just going to bump her over. There she's licking her lips. Now we were talking about this as I was catching her. The drive line, again, is the wither or the saddle horn. So if I want to move a front foot over, I want to be in front of that drive line. Okay, so if I'm standing up here, take a little step back here. If I'm standing up in the front here and I'm asking her to step over, I'm going to switch my intent to that front outside foot. I'm going to put a little pressure on after thinking about that, and I'm just going to ask for that front right foot to step away. There. A little bit away, a little bit back. I don't care. It's not on me. We're going to start with that, right? For me, it's a big deal, especially in these 3-day challenges, to increase the try in this little horse, okay? So her moving that foot back, I'll reward that 100% because she's trying to give me what I'm asking for and trying to search for the answer. This time I can, there, she kind of moved her head a little bit more before I'm going to apply pressure. I'm going to put a little bit more, there. That was a better step out that time. So I'll rub and pet her there. Really important to me that I get these feet moving when and where I want them to. Okay? So if I don't have control over feet, I don't have control over mind. And as much as you guys would enjoy seeing a rodeo, I'm going to try to prevent it in here as much as I can. So again, here, there that foot goes. Rub and pet, release. Now, when I'm doing clinics, people often ask, well, why that outside front foot? Why do you want to move that foot? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's actually a sign of trust for this little horse. If she can move that front outside foot away from me here, it's showing that she can trust, okay? If she crosses, it's no different. And the way that I always explain this at clinics, if I cross my legs there, it's actually out of fear, okay? So if somebody's running at me that I don't know, and I don't know what they're going to do, I want to get the heck out of there and save myself. If it's somebody I know, I go, well, you're kind of being an idiot. I'm going to respect your space and step over here, right? So same thing with the horse. I don't want those front legs to actually cross yet. I just want her to take a step away. And I'm just going to encourage her with my hands in a steady rhythm. There. Better. Okay. There, she wants to walk forward. I'm just going to back her up a little bit. I don't want to pull on her. I just want to put a little pressure on her nose and a little side-to-side motion. Right? Every time she takes a little step or even takes a 1/4 inch of a step, I'm going to release and reward that try. There we go. Good. Good. So here I'm just going to walk and give her a little break. Anybody have any questions so far? The crowd's quiet. You guys can be interactive. You're here to watch and learn too, so I don't mind answering a few questions while we walk through this here. There we go. Good. Good girl. Don't you step on my rope. Let's get away from that. Okay, so we've got the front end figured out. Okay, so she's been pretty good, a little better on the right side or the left side here, but I spent a little longer on that side. So we'll just even that out again. Try to get that front outside foot one more time. Here, as I'm doing that, she's pretty sensitive, pretty responsible to it. I don't have to get too big. I really don't mind. If you start as soft as you can get as big as you need to. Here, I'm going to send that, there's that outside front foot. I'd like a little more forward motion here. Good. There, now she's moving. I don't care, I don't need 100 steps right away, I just need half a step. There. Right, well, half a step last time, 10 steps there this time. There, she's licking her lips. Good. I'm gonna send her out again here. So I'm giving her somewhere to go. I'm not gonna pull her there. I'm just setting a suggestion up and hoping she follows the feel. If she doesn't follow the feel, I'm gonna increase a little pressure until she can find her way forward. As soon as she finds her way forward, we're gonna release. There's side steps. There's a forward step. Good. Nice. Nice. I'll stop moving. She should stop moving. So there, she's not quite with me yet. A lot of times people think a runaway starts when a horse is running. This horse just took 10 extra steps that I didn't ask for. So she's already running away. There, she's stepping in on me. I'm going to push her out a little bit, right? I want her to respect my bubble as we go. Okay, there we go. Let's try sending her out the other way here. So left hand's coming up. There's slack in the halter shank. I'm not going to pull her there. I'm just suggesting that she goes there. There she goes. Nice. Nice. There she softened all the way through her, right from her pole to her wither. She kind of stopped there and got a little straight, right? By the end of the weekend, I'm hoping to see a real nice C shape right from her nose to her tail head. Anytime a horse gets nice and round like that, they're respecting you. They're calm, they're relaxed, they're thinking with you. There we go. So this side's much nicer. She's walking forward a little better. There she kind of paused and goes back. There we go. Now, as we're doing this, it's a big deal to me. If you watch my feet are going forward as she's coming around. If I want forward motion in that horse, I've got to have forward motion in my feet too. As soon as I take a step back here, right, you can see all of a sudden she's closing that gap on me because I'm walking back and now she's moving my feet instead of me moving her feet. So there, as soon as I take a step forward again, I get that safe distance back, right? So if you guys are at home trying some of this stuff and you're realizing that your horse is always on top of you and really pushy on you, it's because your feet are going backwards, not forward, okay? Does that make sense? Good. Thank you. These horses are raised in a herd in the mountains. There's no reason for them to be walking on top of you, right? Horses are really good about telling other horses that they don't want them in their space. And they generally give them about 3 seconds at the most of looking at them, pinning their ears, and then biting and lunging at them, right? You don't get a lot of motion. So if we're spending 10 minutes here pushing a horse out of my space, I've spent 10 minutes too long almost. Horses forgot what we're here for. There she kind of cocks her hip in. I'm going to use the tail of the rope to push her hip over. Good. Good. Nice. She's sneezing, kind of breathing out there. I'm going to give her a little minute to relax. Right? She's a little bit lost. There you go, kid. Get in here. Good job. It's okay. She's very blinky. There. There. We're going to try to get her through that. I don't want her to be head shy here. Good. When we go to work on the pool noodles later, head shy will be pretty bad. So here again, I'm standing square up. There's no reason for her to walk on me. I'm sending her to the right. I'm going to drive her there with my left hand. There, good. So you see there, she took a step on the front left foot first. That's a respectful step to me. Don't play with the halter. We're busy here. Okay, I want to see, when I send her out, I want to see that front outside foot. That's the most respectful that this horse can be to my space. Right? She's trusting me. She's stepping away. She's giving to me instead of me giving to her. Okay, now that we've got a little forward motion, what I'm going to do is take my leading hand to the hip, and I want to see this hip roll over and disengage like that. Good girl. Now, she figured that out pretty quick, but her front end stopped. Okay? Horses can only go 6 directions. Forward, back, left, right, up and down. Okay? I'm really hoping we don't get up and down this weekend. From here, if she stops on the front end, she's telling me she can't go forward. Right? So If you're out in the mountains trail riding and your horse just comes to a stop in front of you, what's most people's first reaction to do with that? They kick him. Well, your horse just told you can't go forward, right? So if you can move a front foot and redirect him in a new direction, even if it's only an inch, you're going to actually get a little bit of life and movement back into that horse before you kick him and send him to the new direction, right? Horses are always right. That's the biggest thing you got to remember. It's not a dumb horse. It's not a goofy horse. Your horse is always right, and they're doing the best that they can in that exact moment that you've got, right? It's up to us to change that thought process and ask a different question. So there we go. Now she's licking her lips and more relaxed, right? Her eye is softening, her pole's softening, her left ear is a little bit more on me than the crowd most of the time. There it is. There you go. Atta girl. So here I've sent her out to kind of backtrack on what I'm doing as I talk. I've sent her out. My leading hand comes to the hip to roll that hind end over to disengage how it is. There we go. I want to keep forward motion on the front feet as we do this. So she's passing really well here, right? Even you can see that she's flexing in and softening through the pole. There. Now this time I stopped and she even came in just a hair, right? That's exactly what I'm looking for. This is telling me everything I need to know about this little filly right now.
Just so you know, Trevor, we're at 30 minutes now, half an hour to go. And this time check is brought to you by EquiPride. It's an all-in-one vitamin, mineral, and digestive aid. No starch, sugar, or molasses. See Eric at the EquiPride booth for details and a show special.
So there we've got her rolling over on this side now. Front end is moving forward. A lot of people practice a one-rein stop and try to teach them here, and they completely forget that when you need a one-rein stop, your horse is moving. I'm just going to chuck this piece of glass to the side that's in here. I don't need her stepping on it. When you need a one-rein stop, your horse is moving. If you don't teach them a one-rein stop moving, it's a good chance you're not going to have it when you need it. Right? So right here already, everything that I'm doing on the ground is going to relate to how it is under saddle. I love groundwork, can do groundwork all day, still don't want to waste my time doing more groundwork than I need to do. Right? So this right here is simulating the rein through all this groundwork. When this rein comes up to the hip in the midsection of the rib, I want to see that back end disengage. Just like she's doing here. Right? That's real nice. Nope, you can, there she stopped on the front end. See how she's stopping? There, I'm going to send her forward. Good, little bit of attitude there, not a big deal. She's licking her lips after. Good. Disengage the hind end, front end's moving forward. Put my hand down. Not bad. That was about 8 steps instead of 10 this time. You can come in. It's okay. You don't need to be head shy. There you go. There. Atta girl. Let's see if we still have this working. So, just going to start flagging her now. I'm going to increase pressure, decrease pressure. It's all about timing and release here. Trying to keep her all 4 feet on the ground as much as I can throughout the weekend. There we go. There you go. There you go. Atta girl. Just going to play with the flag side to side. Remember, these horses came in off a range not too long ago, and they've never seen much of this. Maybe the odd grain bag here and there. There you go. Look at the curiosity in her eye. Hey, she's probably going to chew on that flag sooner than later. There, atta girl. There. Now again, I want to desensitize this horse that she can stand still through things, but I also need this horse to be okay with things moving. All right, I find a lot of times at clinics you get these horses that are just scared stiff, but they look to the client, they look like they're doing okay. But really that horse is just holding all that pressure inside of them because they don't want to go anywhere because they know it gets a lot worse. So you got to teach them to be okay when they're out moving just as much as they are standing. Right? When you're out riding again, you're going to be riding through a ditch or down a trail. they're going to see a grocery bag when you're moving, not standing still. So they need to be prepared for that right now and here. This is how we're going to do that. Good. There, she's even looking at the flag, getting okay with it. Right? All these little muscle twitches that she's doing, I want to get through. We probably won't get there today, or at least this morning, but maybe tonight we will. Right? I want to get her real good and quiet with this. Good. Now we're going to send her out here. Good. So you guys hopefully are able to see how smart this little filly is, right? This comes from generations of good breeding on the horse side and the human side, working on building a mind first, conformation, bloodlines, and even a little color now and then when it works out right. There you go. Good kid. These little extendable flags are $10 on Amazon. I'm not going to sell you a $100 flag with my brand on it because it's not going to make you any better if you can't use it. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to use is just normal everyday stuff. There's no need to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on something just because somebody else's brand is on it. That's my personal opinion. And I just don't like riding with an antenna. So here, I'm going to get her used to this rope. What I'm looking for, I'm just going to roll it down to her hips. Now, years ago, I'd be okay right here just to turn her loose. Over the years, and working with other clinicians down through the States and figuring stuff out that I'm doing wrong, I found that if you actually flex this horse and hold that flex right here, they come through stuff a lot better and a lot quicker. Right? If she gets a little lost, I don't care. I'll turn her loose and start over. She's right. Right? Again, horse is always right. Here. There. Good. Good. See, she's coming and licking her lips through that. That's exactly what we're looking for. Yeah. They can clap. It's okay. I'm going to try the other side here, too. Okay, again, roll this down, roll it over her hips. She wants to back up. I'm not putting any pressure. The rope's just hanging there. She's going to get lost. Turn her loose, walk out, start over. It's better that she learns something than nothing, right? I don't want her getting in a wreck. I don't want her bouncing off these panels. There's no need for that, right? Very first ranch I worked on out of high school. And the very first guy that got me teaching or started my own colts, his dad saying that he passed on to him and Ian actually passed on to me. See how much better she's doing here this time, right? It's okay to quit. We get in these mindsets where you just can't quit. Well, sometimes you got to. You don't always have all day. You're better to take a quarter-inch change. Look how much better that was, right? She comes out licking her lips, still a little head shy, but you don't need to get everywhere every day you do this. I've often found, for some reason, humans love the rhythm of 3. And they say you got to do something 3 times before a horse learns. I got to choose my words wisely, but that's not good. Horses learned on the first time. By doing it 3 more times, you're teaching them that they were wrong the first time. So it might have taken an hour to get that first change, and this happens often with trailer loading. People work for 5 or 6 hours trying to get a horse in a trailer, and then the horse finally gets in, they back that horse out and say, no, you got to do it 3 more times. Why? You just spent 6 hours, you accomplished what you were doing. I could have carried less 4 hours ago when that horse just took a foot, like an inch step towards the trailer. That's a win. Come back tomorrow, you might get 10 feet closer to the trailer. Maybe by the end of the week or the month, that horse is in the trailer. Guaranteed that horse is a lot calmer by doing it that way than beating him and running him into that trailer, then running him out in 3 more times that day. Here I'm just taking my pad, setting it on her. That's probably enough. There. Play with her cinch area a little bit. Now these horses are generally pretty good But, you know, she does have a little Hancock in her, and some people don't like that.
I don't think we have this one.
There's something that the old timers used to call blading, and it's very common in the Hancock horses. So typically when people have Hancock horses bucking on them, it's around that 10 to 12 minute mark. Well, what blading is, and what the old timers have told or passed on to me about it, is that some Hancock lines between 3 and 4 actually have a muscle that grows out over the rib, right where the cinch sits. So it's not that they're bucking, it's that they're in so much pain that they're trying to get away from it. So you can avoid that by, one, waiting till they're 4 and starting them then, or starting them at 2, and then riding again at 4. Or ride a loose cinch and not worry about it. So I want to make sure my cinch is tight enough to stay on this filly, but loose enough that there's no pressure. And for that blading that I'm talking about, you can typically see it. You'll see a muscle over the rib. I've never noticed it with a rockin' heart horse. There you go. But it is out there. It's just something to be aware of. So here, she wanted to walk off, which is kind of okay if my cinch was done up. But here, we've worked on the back up a little. I'm going to hold my saddle on. I'm just going to back her up and get her used to that pressure of that saddle first. There's a step. Good deal. No, your nose can go the other way. There. Right, I want her nose tipped away from me here. I don't want her chewing on me, licking on me. It's not a date, it's work. How are we doing there, Hugh?
Got just under 20 minutes to go, Trevor.
Tighten this cinch up a little bit. There you go. Atta girl. So I am going to ride her in a hackamore, which is why it's important to me that she backs up in a halter. Again, over the years, I've had the question asked, how do you know when a horse is ready to ride in a hackamore? Or I just don't know if I can ride a horse in a hackamore. My horse might run away. Well, if you can back them up in a halter, there's a good chance they already know how to stop in a hackamore. So it's really just a matter of doing it. There's a lot of other preparations you can do if you feel inclined to, and that's by making sure they got a good backup, make sure they got a good flex, not a good bend. We'll get into that maybe in this evening session on flexing and bending. And maybe if we... That was a little snugger, hey? You found it. Good girl. There, if she's going to walk off, this could look really good and it could maybe not look good. But I'm going to use this halter shank to loop under and catch my rear cinch, just so I don't have to bend underneath her back end. Right, so if I'm worried that I can't do a cinch up on a colt, or they're being a little goofy, I can use my halter shank to reach under her so I don't need to put myself down there. Now, there, feel that pressure, good. Find a release, preferably forward. So here, I'm just gonna take my hand, and I'm just putting a little tug and a little tug. See how she doesn't like it there? That's all right. There, she's walking on me. We're gonna stop what we're doing with the cinch, get my front end driving over and away from me again. There you go. Now you're in my rope. I brought that brush in the arena. I didn't even brush her before I saddled her. Maybe we'll be working on a hind foot pickup here. There you go. Nice steps, kid. Good. So I'm just putting a little pressure on the cinch and releasing, just so she can get used to it. There you go. There. Now she's stopping. She's not flinching anymore. That's my opportunity to kind of pull up a little bit on it and put a little pressure on and hope we got everything out of our way. I want to let her go somewhere, but these panels are a little small. I don't want her jumping in the crowd, so I'm just going to stay with her. I don't want to pull on her. I'm just going to let her find herself. You're supposed to find yourself. There, good kid. Look at that, she's listening. Right? Old school ranch mentality, fold them in half, bend them backwards, roll them back. I could care less. I want her to find somewhere and be okay going forward. I don't want to put a brace in her if I don't need to. Every time, I'm glad you're breathing as hard as I am, kid. Every time you touch a horse, from the time that their halter broke and a human first touches them, they will never be as soft as they were prior, right? Every little brace, every time you touch them, every little pull on them is setting a brace into that horse. Now, these colts go through the weanling challenge, and I have no idea how this one did or who had it, but she's pretty good so far. There, as she breathes out, I'm just taking 1/8 of an inch each time, right? I don't want this cinch super snug, but I also don't want it sliding forward like it just did on top of that pad.
15 minutes now. 15 minutes to go, Trevor.
So much more time than it feels like, you.
The old cliche, it flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. There, we tighten the cinch up. I'm going to get her to back up a step. Feel that new pressure. There you go. That's fine. I'd rather her go down than up. I can ride down.
All a response to the cinch.
Yeah. There was a line of Appaloosas that I used to work with often. And there's a certain mare and stud, and every single time you'd saddle those horses, they'd lay down for the first 3 times. Right?
That's why you don't want to have them tied high to a tie rack or something.
Yeah, let them be free. Let them. There, she's licking her lips. Look at that. I don't want her to lay down. I don't think she is a colt I need to lay down. She hasn't shown me any signs that she's not thinking or listening or respecting me. Right from the get-go when we came in here, she gave me my space.
Isn't there 10 points in the finals for laying your horse down?
Okay, maybe we'll lay a horse down.
I don't think so.
No, I don't need to. If I don't feel the need to do it, I'm not going to. I'm not going to kill this horse just to get points and win this weekend. And I don't wear a clown suit, so I don't feel the need for circus tricks. But unless the judges want to see circus tricks, we can play. There. Do you guys see the change in her now? Right? I don't care that she bucks. I'm kind of happy she bucked. I got to see how much I need to ride later if it goes wrong. Right there. She's respecting that rope. She's a little shy of it. That's okay. Take a step out and away. There. Front right foot stepped away beautifully. That's what I want her to lead on, that front outside foot. There it is. Now I'll go to the back. There. I can drive her forward. Now I can drive her side. Now I can ask for a hind foot over. There's a side pass. All right? Back foot, front foot. Back foot. There's another side pass. Let's quit there. Good. Good girl. So by getting control of their feet first, my first initial thing when we stepped in here, front feet. I want to move a front foot over. That's a front end disengage. Generally, 98% of people know what a hind end disengage is. Horses carry 70% of their body weight and balance in the front end. Why would you worry about the 30% in the back end when you can get control of the 70% of them first? You're going to get a lot more mind out of them by moving these front feet and having respect. There, beautiful. Right? You're going to get a lot more respect out of your horse a lot quicker by moving those front feet first. There, beautiful. Good girl. Okay. Now her eyes softening. She's going, man, I did not sign up for this weekend. This is a lot of work. I thought I was going to summer pasture when I hopped in that horse trailer. These horses did not decide to be here. We did. Right? I don't care what we get done this weekend. It's up to her to take us there, not me. All this licking and chewing's a good deal. They're rolling that back end, forward motion on the front end. Okay? We're going to stop her here. I'm going to put my hand down to bring her to a stop and stop moving my feet. If she doesn't want to stop, that's fine. There, rub and pet. Move that front foot over. Good. Now send her out again on this side. Okay, give her somewhere to go, and then ask her to go there. If I just went to smacking on her without giving her a place to go, there's a really good chance she goes up and down instead of forward. There we go. Let's go a little more forward. She's a little bit more shy on this side about going backward instead of forward. I want to get that out. There's her lips licking. Good. Good. Now, she may or may not pass this next exercise, and that's okay. I think she's ready for it. She's responding well to everything else. So we're going to combine a few of these things we've been working on here so far. I'm going to send her out to the right. Forward motion. And now, when we're out riding, and I want to change directions, I'm going to have to move her front left foot. So this is where things can go a little sideways. Front left foot. There, good. Atta kid. We'll just let you figure that one out. No, you're okay. It's just a hand. Good. So, troubled horses, colts that kind of want to buck on people, typically that would actually send them into a buck. So just moving that front right or front left foot over, walking forward, right? I'm going to have to do this later when I go to ride. There's that front left foot stepping nice and over. There she's licking her lips. Beautiful. Yeah.
10 minutes now. Trevor, 10 minutes.
You bet. Hey. Heck of a good horse, guys. Again, you can't go wrong with this breeding program. These horses are smart. They think through stuff. They want to be with you. There, front right foot. Look at that. Way to go. You didn't even prepare for that, kid. Kid. Lead forward. Give her somewhere to go. Send her there. You should have got there. Good job. Good job. Now she's coming around. We'll do it for this crowd. As she's coming around the front, right. Oh, you stopped. Gonna make a liar out of me. Forward, front right foot. There, nice big step there. Good. Good. Now again, she's a little head shy, so we're gonna get through this. Every time I go to touch her eyes, she's blinking, pulling her head away. I want her to come to me. Good. Hugh, you mind letting me know when we're at 5 minutes?
You bet.
Okay. She's already felt these stirrups on her. Make a little noise. Good. Good enough for me. She's already heard this rope. Let's make sure she knows it. That's a little bit. Good. Let her find her way around again. Back her up a step. Good. Make a little noise. Good. Again, my goal here is to keep her calm, quiet, and under control. I don't think I finished my story a little earlier either. But yeah, Ian, his dad's quote was, if you want a calm horse, stay calm. If you want a patient horse, be patient. That's 100% true. A lot of people, a lot of trainers bring a lot of energy into the ring. And then they wonder why their horse is running around or not listening. It starts with you. Center yourself and your horse will be centered too, or at least have a fair chance at it. Here I'm going to bump my stirrup on her hip, on her ribs here, sorry. I just want her to roll there. Take that step over and away. Understand that when there's pressure on her ribs, she can actually roll that hind end over. So I'm going to prepare this for when I get on and ride her. There, much better. So I'll give her a quit there on that side. Good enough. Again, I'm going to take this stirrup on this side now. I'm going to bump her on her ribs right in front of the rear cinch. There she's moving. Good enough. Good. Come back. There she just took a step in on her front foot. So I'm going to quit what I'm doing, and I'm going to get her out of my space. It's really important that I'm always moving the horse's feet and that she's not moving mine. Right? If you watch, good job. Good. If you watch wild horse herds, the lead mare is telling the rest of the horses when and where to go, right? The herd can lie down, they can rest, they can eat green grass, they can drink good water, because they know that lead mare is always watching them, right? So in that sense, that mare has placed those horses where they're at, and move their feet to where they are. So if we can relate that kind of motion to these horses, they're going to actually figure out that we're a leader and they can trust us a lot quicker, right? Horses need a leader. They want a leader. They want somebody to tell them where to eat, where to go, right? It's a lot of work for horses to be thinking through that stuff in the wild. Out in the Chilcotin where I used to live, we had wild horses everywhere, right? My main 2 horses for a lot of years were wildies, and my mare was out of the lead mare of that wild herd. And I can tell you it's definitely genetic with them, right? There you go. Good. So horses are naturally lazy. If they have somebody else thinking for them, finding the good food, finding the good water, being a leader, I mean, it's basically a dog's life for them. They just get to relax and enjoy it. So here she's a little more bound up with this with the saddle, but it's important she finds her way. Again, I don't want to pull her head around. I don't want to just turn her loose if I don't have to. I just want her to flex a little. There she's finding it. There's a little bit of a bend, right? I want to flex. I want the nose under the pole. That's a little better there. Good. Now I'm just going to turn her loose.
5 minutes.
Thanks.
5 minutes now, Trevor.
Thanks, you. There she's licking her lips, low-headed, nice and calm, coming with me. Good deal. You guys mind clapping one more time? Thank you. That's good. Good. And again. Good. Good. One more time. Good. Good enough. We'll work on that more throughout the weekend here. Thank you. I'm just going to see if I can't get this on the other side, and then I'm going to unsaddle her and hand her off. Again, this side she was a little more lost on earlier. That's fine. We're going to go around with her. If I ever feel like I'm in danger, I'm going to quit. I don't need to prove a point here. There we go. All right, it's okay to quit. Just start over. It gives you something to work on. At least now you know. Here, I'm not actually pulling on her. Right, I could do this with one finger. She's pulling. There she goes. Now I want a nice flex, kid. There, yeah. I'll just walk away now and let her see if she can find her way out. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. That's good enough for me. That covers most of what I need before I sit on a colt. Do you guys have any questions about anything? I think we're allowed to be interactive. Just raise a hand up. And I don't know if it's ever a good thing when the crowd's silent or not. It either means that you talked a bunch and they didn't understand anything, or you talked well enough that they figured it all out. And either way is kind of a scary situation. More. I accomplished more than I thought I might so far today. If we had another 15 minutes, probably be able to ride her because she's so ready. So we'll just see if we can get there quicker in the next session.
2.5 minutes now.
Oh, what are we going to do with you? Hey? Well, we got to pick their feet up later. We might as well start with that. See how this goes. Here. That's not too bad. Going to back her up here a little bit, reset her mind. Good. Pick up her front right foot. As I'm picking her feet up, I'm running my hand down her shoulder, down her elbow, in behind here, right? I want to run down and she knows what's coming before it happens. There. If I really have a hard time picking up a leg, there you go. Good. Please don't nibble on me. See there, she's getting stiff. I'm going to grab her knee right here. There. I'm just going to put a little pressure on. If she doesn't want to do that, I have no issues with this. We'll teach her to lead here. There. I had a client ask me this week how I get a horse set up for hobbles. This is one of the ways. Teach him to restrain to that rope. You can lead him to the, what is this here? You're right. There you go. Right? You can move that foot. Good. No, we don't need to fight about it. There you go. Good. Good enough for me on that foot. We'll get to that again later. So now we know that she has a little bit of an issue lifting her right front foot up. So I might address that a little bit later on in the afternoon. Do you want her other halter back on? Okay.
And we're down to 1 minute.
All right. Well, she's pretty good. I'd be pretty happy just stopping her right now, but we'll do some low stress things here. Earlier I talked about flexing and bending. Flexing, the nose follows under the pole the whole way. So here's a flex, here's a flex. There she's starting to bend because her ear's tipping out to the, there's a bend, her ear's tipping to the, there's a bend. I'm not putting any more pressure, she just has to find it.
30 seconds.
I just want her to, there's a good flex. Good, so you guys can see the nose is under the pole, that's a flex. That's why you'll hear of people getting bucked off their horse and they say, well, I pulled the nose right to my knee and she still bucked me off. She was bent, not flexed, right? Flexing will soften them right from the nose to the wither to the tail, and that's what you're going for. All right.
10, 9.
I'm done.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trevor
Thanks.
Mertes, real
Thanks, you.
nice job, Trevor.